What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? And our special co-host. So all week we have Ieshea Hollins on the show. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We cannot complain, right? It's summertime. It's about to be Memorial Day weekend, or if you listen to this, it might already have passed. But Ieshea is founder and CEO of Direnzic Technology. She's also a fractional CISO, and she is an author. And we talked about her book last episode. So if you have not listened to it, please go back and listen to Technology Guide to Divorce and how it is a series and where she's going to go from there. So definitely tune in for all of that good information. But Ieshea has been with us since season 1, right? She's one of our first interviews. I believe you were my second interview of all time. So definitely go back and tune in that. I actually have to find that link so I can put it in here as well, so people can go and listen to that. It's a good hour-long conversation. But back then you weren't an author yet. You're doing all this other amazing things, right? You have these other 10 titles, and now you're also an author. And then we kind of talked about how I have to start working through your personal assistant because I can no longer talk to you directly or make eye contact. So we will get into that as well on Friday's episode. But I wanted to talk about your upcoming symposium, right? So June is a theme month when it comes to cybersecurity. So I wanted to definitely capture that synergy, that energy that's going to happen throughout the month of June and talk about your upcoming symposium. So if you can let us know what it is called and how long it's I believe you said this with the second year, but kind of the history behind it and what you'll be talking about.
Certainly. Thank you so much, Ryan and Shannon, for having me on. Yes, so June is actually National Internet Safety Month. And so with Direnzic for the last 10 years, believe it or not, we at Direnzic have always supported the other national initiative. So October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So we've always held a conference. It's always a part of our community give back. We work with various institutions. We talk with the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and we come and we talk with small business owners around cybersecurity and awareness. And then we learned that June was Internet Safety Month, right? And so in like fashion, it was like, how do we get behind this initiative and show just as much support? Because internet safety is more about you. Right? You, the consumer, you, the person. Cybersecurity is more about your data. So you can see where that plays more in part, like with businesses or whatever. So for us, internet safety is more, it doesn't really matter what hat you wear. And so for the theme for this year is it's all a matter of consciousness. It's how you think about it, right? No matter what hat you wear, we actually have to do a better job of understanding why it's so important that we're safe online, how we share. And so Direnzic actually launched one of our initiatives, which is C4, which we love to talk about the 4 cornerstones of cyber and internet safety and awareness. So for us, we're going to hit on initially being consciously connected. We don't necessarily always talk about how we connect our devices, right? Or that we understand wherever you connect, you leave traces of you. So we are going to actually have a former retired FBI agent. He's going to come in and he's going to talk with us on day 1 because it is a 4-part series, a 4-part workshop for the week of June 19th through the 22nd. And so you can get your tickets, attend online. This is our 2nd annual. Last year, we actually we were very courageous because I actually hosted a multi-state conference. So we were physically in Dallas, physically in Monroe, Louisiana, and virtual. And so it was a hit, but it almost killed me. So I said, how do I still have the same impact, right? It was a lot of wonderful information, but how do we keep that? As you say, how do we keep that cadence? How do we keep it going year to year? So this year we said, let's do a 4-part workshop where we're bringing in different people, different voices, different things that we're going to talk about. And so that first one, it's all around, we're going to talk about, how should you look at everything from sextortion, cyber stalking? What does that look like? And how am I safe? What do I look for when I get online? What are some of those resources, right? The following day, we're actually going to talk through being consciously disconnected. How do I disconnect my tech? So that actually plays a part of my book, as you talked about, like that being, going through a divorce or going through succession, right? So we're going to have some attorneys that's going to come and they're going to talk with us as we talk through some of the importance of how you make sure you navigate. Just because I went together, how do I successfully disconnect, right? And not leave these remnants that we tend to leave because, we're kind of careless sometimes when we disconnect. Our next focus is going to be, how do we consciously unplug? We are dealing in a society right now, we're in a digital age, and everybody is either burnt out or addicted. The symptoms look the same. So how do we have our employers make sure that you're not dealing with an addiction because how do we escape now? We escape some of everything by getting more into the tech, which is more burnout. So we're going to have a counselor on, Ms. Tammy Gilmore. It's the first name I dropped. I should have dropped Miguel's. And they're going to come in and some of those counselors are going to talk you through what is burnout, what is addiction, and how do we address them? How do we consciously unplug from the tech that we have every day? And then our next one is going to be, how do you consciously heal? So we've talked you through that there are cyber and internet crimes. We've talked you through there's addiction and there's things that are going on, but how do we make sure that as humans, right, we are healing and that we're okay in a world that is being driven by technology? If I was victimized, so we have one of our guests, she was a victim of a Tinder swindler. Well, this person found her online. They terrorized her online. They, and you'll hear her story, right? I don't want to tell it now. You'll hear her story, but then she had to continue to live in a world where she's still having to be online. How does she get the help that she needs? So we're going to have some mental health counselors available and therapists to just kind of also give some, how do we heal after we've gone through all of this anxiety and depression and PTSD where it surrounds our technology. So that's our week for National Internet Safety Month.
No, that's awesome. And can you give those dates again?
Sure. So it's going to be June the 19th through the 22nd, and each day is themed a different day.
Got you. So I'm definitely going to put the link in here as well, and it'll probably be out throughout the entire week. What if they're unable to attend the, I guess, the synchronous version? Will it be recorded for them to watch later on?
Exactly. So for those who do buy their tickets, and so that we're going to track that, because you can buy for people's like, I don't want to do the whole one, I just want one. You can buy them individually, but if you buy the set will be recorded, and we will actually give the recordings out afterwards.
But then, so if you guys tune into yesterday's episode, we talked about your book, so Technology Guide to Divorce. You went into how you're going to go into succession. But in case they have not listened to that, can you kind of break down the theme of succession? Because I don't think we talk about that as people of color in general enough.
Exactly. Certainly, yes. So with succession, we will have our conversations with our parents or grandparents or whoever we're caring for, right? But given that we now live in a more digital age, before we could find scraps of paper around the office that told us what the passwords were to certain things, right? And now, especially when you're talking passwords versus multi-factor authentication. So what it is, it's a way for us to plan post-life What do we do? How do we make sure that we have safeguarded that the family has what they need when they need it, that they're easily able to find it. But it doesn't just go for loss of life. Where our succession, we're going to touch different areas, right? We actually have a client who they were a business owner, and their person in charge of accounting passed away. And so all of accounting and the multi-factor authentication was set to them. You couldn't get on their phone because they had the face print. You couldn't do the fingerprint. The person was no more. And the multi-factor didn't have a way to go to anyone else. They couldn't do payroll. So these are, and this actually went on for a couple of months. They couldn't do payroll. So these are things that we do talk about as far as succession. How do you make sure that you are planning for the inevitable, right? Disaster recovery planning. These should be conversations that are being had regardless, as I said, no matter what hat you wear. In your home, you need to be prepared. And on your job, you need to be prepared. So that's succession for us.
No, that's perfect. Thank you for expounding on that, because I don't think people think about that enough. Like you're lucky to even receive an inheritance, right? Like I remember growing up when a loved one would pass away, because people in my family live a long time, so like they'd be in their 80s or 90s, so you don't even think about it anymore, right? Like you're like, this person don't live forever, and then one day, they're no more, unfortunately. But then it's the kind of ransacking the house, right? You're trying to figure out like, where is all the stuff? Like, where did auntie or grandma or whomever, like you said, where do they keep the things? Like, where is their will? Where is their safe deposit box? Like, when is their mortgage due? So we don't lose the house, in their absence. So no,
that's a
that's
real
great.
thing. Yeah, we had another one, and the husband and wife have been married for 50 plus years, and the husband had paid all the bills, all the everything, right? He was in charge of, and not in some backwoods way where she didn't have control, right? We're not doing that, but that it just was, it wasn't her job. And so when he passed, it became they and the family had no way of taking care of her because he died knowing all of the account information.
Right. No, that's very important. So yeah, that's great. So definitely continue to tune in throughout the week as we break down more of Ieshea's projects coming up. Like super busy lady, so we want to make sure we capture as much stuff as we can. And then, like I said, Monday we talk about the China situation where they've done some living off the land when it comes to Guam, and we just kind of break down like, what does that look like and how does that impact us in our daily lives, right? Then Tuesday we talk about Ieshea's book and the upcoming series, so definitely tune in for that. And then Friday we're going to talk about your podcast. So I don't want to spoil anything, but hit us up at all of our websites. They go by our name. You can hit me up personally. I'm at RY Security Guy. It's RYRY Security Guy. And Ieshea, where can they find you?
I am on all social media platforms, so you can either find me under Ieshea Speaks, or Direnzic. And so that's LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Insta. The only one I'm probably not on is, well, I'm on there, but I'm not active, Twitter.
There you go. So yeah, definitely we'll put all those links in there. Definitely tune into all of what Ieshea has going on, because it's going to be something that piques your interest, right? So it's just a matter of you kind of targeting like, okay, I want to listen to Ieshea speak about this, or I want to learn more about this type of topic. But she has something for everyone. So definitely tune in for all that good stuff. Like I said, you can hit us up at all of our socials. You can tune in for my webinar, which is coming up. So my first professional webinar, it centers around GBLA and the new safeguard rules that go into effect on June 9th. But if you're an institution such as a university, an accountant, if you deal with people's non-public personal information in any regard, these rules may impact you as well. So definitely tune in for that one. That will be on June 1st. Definitely continue to tune in. Stay safe, stay secure.